Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this important national update on Ghana's Multidimensional Poverty Report, covering 2024 Quarter 1 to 2025 Quarter 3. Let me start with the purpose. This report supports government development objectives of helping us answer a simple but powerful question. Are people's lives improving in real and practical ways? It also supports the Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 1, to end poverty and the promise to leave no one behind. As we know, poverty is not only about money. A household can earn some income, but still suffer deeply if they lack safe water, a decent toilet, good health care, quality housing, education, and stable work, among others. That is what we call multidimensional poverty. Now, let me explain how we measure it. This report uses nationally representative data from the Annual Household Income and Expenditure Survey, what we refer to as AHIS, and the Quarterly Labor Force Survey, what we refer to as QLFS. We applied Ghana's adapted Archive-Foster methodology, which measures poverty across 4 key dimensions, namely living conditions, health, education, and employment, using 13 indicators. We classify a person as multidimensionally poor if they are deprived in at least 1/3 of these indicators. Now to the key findings. First, the good news. Multidimensional poverty declined steadily in 2025. It reduced from 23.9% in Quarter 1 to 23.1% in Quarter 2, and further down to 21.9% in Quarter 3. And between Quarter 2 and Quarter 3 of 2025 alone, more than 360,000 people moved out of multidimensional poverty. Now, here is a comparison with 2024. Compared with 2024, Ghana's multidimensional poverty indicators improved in 2025. The national multidimensional poverty incidence fell from 24.9% in 2024 Quarter 4 to 21.9% by 2025 Quarter 3, confirming a steady decline. But the drivers remain largely the same: health and living conditions, especially health insurance coverage, nutrition, overcrowding, and sanitation continue the biggest pressure points. In Quarter 3 of 2025, 7.2 million people in Ghana were multidimensionally poor, compared to 8.1 million people in Quarter 3 of 2024. That is, about 950,000 people moved out of multidimensional poverty between Quarter 3 of 2024 and Quarter 3 of 2025. But the progress is not equal everywhere. We continue to see deep regional and rural urban inequalities. Poverty remains much higher in rural areas at 31.9% compared to 14.2% in urban areas in the third quarter of 2025. Regionally, Northeast and Savannah recorded poverty incidence above 50%, while Greater Accra and Western regions remained below 20%. So yes, Ghana is improving, but Ghana is also unequal. Now, what is driving multidimensional poverty in the third quarter of 2025? Our data show that living conditions and health are the biggest drivers. In Quarter 3 of 2025, toilet facility deprivation and health insurance deprivation each affected more than 20% of the multidimensionally poor. We are also seeing worrying pressure points. Overcrowding deprivation increased sharply, nearly doubling from 11.4% in Quarter 2 to 21.6% in Quarter 3 of 2025. And school attendance deprivation also increased from 7% to 9.4% over the same period. This tells us that even when poverty reduces overall, some risks are rising quietly in the background. We also found that education and stable employment protect households strongly. Poverty was highest among households where the head had no formal education, at 38.5%, but it dropped to only 5.7% for households headed by someone with tertiary education. Similarly, households headed by unemployed persons had poverty as high as 35.6%, while households headed by public sector workers recorded much lower poverty, around 5.3%. This is a clear message. Education and decent jobs reduce poverty faster and more sustainably. Multidimensional poverty incidence was almost the same for male and female-headed households, at around 22%. We also tracked severe vulnerability. Population aged 15 years and older, facing the triple burden of food, insecurity, unemployment, and multidimensional poverty, increased slightly from 208,000 people, or 1.4% in Q2 of 2025, to 227,500 people, or 1.5% in Q3. Now, what do these findings mean for policy? They mean we must focus on practical actions that reduce deprivation directly, especially in health access, sanitation, education, jobs, and rural infrastructure. So let me give clear recommendations. For households, maintain active national health insurance coverage. Keep children in school consistently. Improve nutrition, especially for children, and take steps to improve sanitation and housing conditions. For government, we must expand access to basic services, strengthen social protection, support skills development and apprenticeships, and reduce deprivation in rural and high poverty regions through targeted investments. For businesses and the private sector, create more decent jobs, support skills training, invest in community services like water and sanitation, and help bring informal workers into more secure and productive employment. And to fully attain our development objectives, we must ensure that productivity, jobs, and opportunity are created in every region, not only in few places. Before I end, let me express appreciation. We thank the households across the country who opened their doors and provided the information that made this report possible. We thank our dedicated field staff who collected the data with professionalism and commitment. We also thank the government of Ghana and the World Bank for funding and supporting this work. And we thank the staff of the Ghana Statistical Service who worked tirelessly to produce this report. Ghana's story is not just about numbers. It's about people. And with evidence, commitment, and action, we can reduce poverty in all its forms and ensure that no one is left behind. Thank you very much.